All right, we're in for a treat tonight. We have a RAD5, and I'm going to walk through the setup with everybody, demonstration, and we'll talk about the anatomy of the RAD5. Now, a couple things. This is my personal RAD5. We've had so many that have been ordered that I just haven't taken away a new one to be used for a demo, though I will do a demo later with a new one, because it has the built-in multimeter, okay? But other than that, it's basically the same. You'll occasionally see color variation in the Orgonite, but you know, we still are a family business, so you'll see some minor variations, but the quality is the same. And I partly wanted to show this because I've had it going on 10 years now, and you know, it's gone with me everywhere, so it's not as pristine, clean as a brand new one, but it still functions perfectly. It still looks pretty good if you ask me, and you know, it's an important tool in my life. So the RAD5, you got the few components. Okay, here's the donut, and again, this is my personal one, so if you get a new one, it'll be sparkly clean, and it will have on the new one the built-in frequency meter reader, so you can see exactly what frequency per generator. In the RAD5, you actually have 5 generators, okay, and they all hook up in one place, so that's why it's called a RAD5. RAD is short for radionics. So you plug in the power, plug in here, as you can see. So here you can turn off or on each individual generator. There's 5, okay? So you can have on one at a time. You have on 4, 3, 2, 1. You've got 3 dials per generator, and you've got a silver output tube per generator. And again, it's my personal RAD5. It's almost a decade old. It's moved with me, traveled with me, and you know, you can plug in a multimeter here, but as I said, on the new RAD5s, you have a built-in frequency reader. So per generator, you can set the exact frequency as you would on the PFC 2400 HD, and so on and so forth. Just plug it in, turn it on. And then hook this up. All right. So as you can see, it's very easy to hook up. I think these things look so cool. If anyone asks, you say it's part of your computer. You can actually change out these LED lights too, and those can be used for frequencies, excuse me, for radionic settings. So you could have a blue one that hooks up to a certain trend, or a green one. Yeah, so it's plugged in, it's turned on. You've got the wall plug in to a normal outlet. You've got the box here, then you've got the donut. Now, the donut is set up that way for a specific purpose. All 5 output tubes pointing to the center. So it makes it a very, very strong orgone field in the center. You can use it all on one operation by placing it in the center. You can use it on many different operations. The 5 individual generators all pulse at slightly different frequencies in their base settings. As with all the higher end devices, you can set the hertz frequency as you wish, okay? These dials, per usual, can be used for rates or for frequency. So you can see the green light changing. Again, I'll get a new one later for a demo, but basically you wouldn't be able to tell the exact frequency each individual generator is putting out. Just like with a binaural beat, if you're familiar, there's kind of a, if you're doing two generators, there's a third frequency present that is basically the combination of the two. Talk to someone who does music if you want to learn more about that, or look up binaural beats. By the way, these are a great replacement or addition to doing binaural brain waves. Started doing those a long time ago when I was young, and those are pretty effective. So basically, here's the dials. You have 15 dials. You have your two well plates. And I tell people, you know, we're not dogmatic. We're all about results. And this is a tool. A tool has many ways to be used. Some people like to put only their target here and their action here and their trends in there, or, you know, only put their corresponding action with one of these corresponding dial sets, stuff like that. You can do it that way. Basically, it's up to the individual user how you best, what your preference is. So, for example, you can have something as simple as your TC99 transfer couple Orgonite pendants, one here, one with you. You're getting the full charge of the RAD5. You can set up equal and separate operations, place that down underneath the donut, underneath the device, on the well plate, here, on here, underneath here, and then you can go forth and set up many different operations. You can set up a corresponding frequency to each operation individually. You can do one frequency for 10 operations and just specify. You might want to put a note here, 10 operations that have that frequency. You could even write, you can find basically the corresponding output tube for the setting, and you can put them all right here, all underneath this side. You can put it in the middle, but specify on the operation they're corresponding to this output frequency. If you're using the program, you can put your card transfer link here, 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 and basically you can transfer the output of the RAD5 to your program and whatever operations you're running there. You can do one color on each output. I think that looks really cool. This thing is heavy. Keep that in mind. And some people just put a stack of papers. I've even done this. One operation per paper. Here, pictures of family members that they want to energize with Orgone. So when you have this, well, you won't run into this issue if you get a new one, but basically this allows you to select, toggle between the individual frequencies. And if you're reading this with a multimeter, then you will be reading that particular generator. And it of course has audio input, which is nice. You can input in MP3, iPhone, whatever you want to use, straight from your computer, iPad, iPod, and the music or frequency that you put into the audio input colors the orgone. There's theories that the reason that musical vibrations, when they hit the ears, they create basically a small orgone transfer to the brain, and that's how your brain interprets sound. That's early stage theory. So again, I'm not a scientist. In fact, when I bought my first RAD2000, I was very skeptical. I was into living water, structured water, and I read it. I had a feeling it would work, but even when it got there, I said, you know, I'm not sure about this thing. And I tell you, it's a true story. Operation after operation, I was astounded at how well it worked. And I came into it skeptical. So we encourage people to send their device back if they're not happy with it. That does us no good to have people out there who are dissatisfied with the devices. As you can see, we have perfect 5-star reviews. Very rarely do people order and send the device back. I think maybe once in a few years, after many hundreds, thousands of devices, and one of those times at least out of 2 was financial related. Financially they had some issues. So anyway, I'm not a scientist, definitely not a doctor. This is definitely not for any sort of healing, seriously. So for me, I was astounded. I set the operations, I was into manifestation. I knew that there was a little bit more to life than what meets the eye, and I took a leap of faith, and here I am. I've been thoroughly impressed with the devices time and time again, as are most people. When you're setting an operation, it's like any other manifestation technique. It has to be possible. It has to be possible. It can seem very improbable, but if you just want to marry a movie star or something like that, well, there's already a lot of different orgone and energetic influence on that particular outcome. Same thing with a sports game. Look how many people are watching it and focusing their energy on an outcome. So all this is doing is adding in this case, a massive boost of orgone. In the smaller devices, a boost of orgone to your particular setting. So it can just be for yourself, for charisma. With this, you can do many things. You can set to influence many people, and everyone develops a knack for how they like to use it best. Personally, I use the programs online. They're super simple, super clean, the software programs, and I set it up that way. So comment with any questions, email, call. This is a basic intro. Remember, this is an older RAD5, so if you get one from us, it'll have the extra bells and whistles, and it'll be shiny, clean, and new. All right, thank you very much. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.